We're here at General Conference. It's such an honor to be a part of a great fellowship like the United Pentecostal Church, whose primary purpose is to reach the whole world with the gospel of Jesus Christ. My wife, myself, and our 3 children are missionaries to Chile. My parents were missionaries to Chile as well in the 80s, and for me to be able to go back and take the gospel message there has been such a great privilege and honor. The current leadership there are people that I actually grew up with, and for me to be able to work with them now as a missionary is such a great privilege. Chile is the world's longest country at 2,700 miles in length. It borders the Atacama Desert in the north and goes all the way to the far south, overlooking the Straits of Magellan and the Antarctica. So we have a lot of territory to cover in reaching these people with the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Chile is a beautiful country, full of hope and wonder and amazement. The country itself is absolutely wonderful. The people, since we have been there, have been heartwarming, very welcoming, loving. To be quite honest, I'm very eager to get back.
I love being a missionary kid. Just pretty amazing. I get to do and see things that normally kids my age don't really do and see.
I love being in MK. I get to see what my parents get to do with the Bible school and all the churches grow, and where there are no churches, you can see them get planted.
With the population of 18 million people and only 35 churches, we have got a lot of work to do. Our first 2 years in Chile were spent in getting reacquainted with the people, getting reacquainted with the leadership, visiting the churches. Now they have appointed me as president of the Bible school because my heart's desire is to see new works planted. Shortly after we arrived in January of 2010, just several weeks later, after we had settled in the city of Concepcion, we were faced with one of the greatest trials of our life, and we went through an earthquake that registered 9.0 on the Richter scale. The devastation was overwhelming. The day after the earthquake, I was able to make my way into downtown, and I was overwhelmed at the devastation, seeing the lives that were lost, seeing them taking people out of crumbled buildings. The firemen and the police, the rescue departments were there, taking bodies out of apartment buildings that had collapsed. To see children now without a home, to see mothers without hope, to see fathers wondering how are they going to provide for their children now. We saw people sleeping on the streets. We saw people sleeping in yards, finding wherever they could find relief. We coordinated with Compassion Services International to provide water and food and to rebuild their houses. During that time, I cried out to God, and I said, Lord, we have got to reach this nation. You have got to help us. You've got to show us what we can do to help them. Our primary responsibility when we return to Chile is to oversee the Bible school and to establish new works. My focus and goal for the Bible school is once our students graduate, that they will then be able to go to a local church and to work as an intern. And during that time, they will get hands-on practical training from established seasoned ministers. After they work as an intern for a period of time, they will then go and establish a daughter work in one of those cities that has no apostolic church. We have over 50 cities with a population of excess of 50,000 people with no apostolic Pentecostal church. We have one city that has over 2 million people and only one church. So you can see the task before us is great. Chile is the land where revival is happening. It's not coming, it's there. God is doing the work. He's pouring out His Spirit. And to be a part of a fellowship that is willing to go with us, that is willing to back us up, what an honor, what a privilege it is.
Upon our last service there, before coming from the field, I mentioned to one of the churches that I was leaving behind my heart because there was such a love and a connection to the people there.
I can't escape it. I'll hear a song and it'll take me back. I'll hear somebody speaking in Spanish, it'll take me there. I'm consumed with it. It's a passion, it's a burden. God's called us there. I couldn't imagine doing anything else. I don't know how many times I've cried out to the Lord, you have to give me this nation, lest I die. Consumed with a burden, overwhelmed with the passion for the land that God has called us to.